In a distant, scorching desert, where the sun mercilessly burned the sand and the wind whispered only of hopelessness, there lived a little bird. Its life was a constant struggle. Its body was worn down by constant illness. Its feathers fell out, leaving its skin exposed and vulnerable, and its wings refused to carry it into the sky. It wandered without a home, without a drop of water, without a crumb of food, surrounded only by loneliness, struggle, and deep sorrow that squeezed its heart like red-hot pincers. One day, as the bird was barely moving across the sand dunes, a white dove flew overhead, graceful, full of life, with wings sparkling in the sun. In a weak, hoarse voice, the bird called out, "Please, stop for a moment." The dove froze in the air, descended closer, bowed its head, and asked, "What has happened to you? Why is there such bottomless sadness in your eyes?" The bird gathered its last strength and whispered, "Where are you going?" The dove replied softly, "I am flying to paradise, to the bright heavens." At these words, a faint but desperate glimmer of hope flashed in the suffering bird's eyes. She folded her weary wings and prayed, "I beg you, ask God about me when you reach heaven. When will my torment end? When will the dark days be replaced by bright ones?" The dove nodded, her eyes filled with compassion. "I promise, I will ask about you." And with these words, she soared upward, disappearing into the blue expanse. Reaching paradise, a place where the air sparkled with gold and the scent of flowers was intoxicating, the dove met an angel at the shining gates. She told him about the poor bird, about her suffering, and asked, "What does fate have in store for her?" The angel, his face full of wisdom, sighed. "God has decreed 10 more years of torment for her. Only after that will she find happiness." The dove froze, her heart tightening with pain. "If I tell her this, she will break down completely and lose all hope. Is there really no way to help?" The angel paused, gazing thoughtfully into infinity, and finally said, "Tell her that at any moment, in any trouble or joy, she should repeat, 'Thank you, God, for everything.' This is her true test." The dove returned to the desert, found the bird on the sand, and conveyed the angel's words. At first, the bird was confused. How could she be thankful for pain, thirst, and loss? But deep down, she made a vow to herself. No matter what happened, she would repeat those words. And so, when she collapsed face down in the scorching sand, she whispered, "Thank you, God, for everything." When thirst tightened her throat and there was no water, she whispered, "Thank you, God, for everything." When illness tore out her last feathers, leaving her bare and trembling, she still said, "Thank you, God, for everything." And then, imperceptibly, a miracle began to happen. Her body, tormented for years, began to grow stronger. The old fragile feathers were replaced by new ones, shiny, strong, full of power. One day, at the height of her weakness, as she wandered through the endless dunes, the sky darkened. Black clouds gathered in a whirlwind. The wind howled like a wild beast, and a downpour poured down, powerful, refreshing, turning the desert into an oasis. Green shoots broke through the sand, and a pond with crystal clear water glistened nearby. The bird felt her health returning. Her wings grew stronger, she soared into the air, and joy filled her heart. She flew, laughed, bathed in the water, happier than ever. Only 10 days passed, and the dove flew by again. She could not believe her eyes. The same bird was hovering in front of her, but transformed, full of life, surrounded by greenery and flowers, where only death had reigned before. The dove descended, stunned. How is this possible? The angel spoke of 10 years of suffering. Unable to contain her curiosity, she rushed back to paradise and begged the angel, "What happened? You said she would suffer for 10 years, but everything changed in 10 days." The angel smiled, his eyes shining. Yes, her fate was predetermined by 10 years of sorrow, but she rewrote it herself. When someone sincerely says, "Thank you, God, for everything," in any situation, good or bad, they burn their past karma, just as fire purifies gold. Her trial is over. 10 years have been reduced to 10 days thanks to her pure, unbroken gratitude. Most of us, when faced with the slightest misfortune, immediately begin to complain, "Why me?" We forget that gratitude is a power that can turn our lives around. When we say from the bottom of our hearts, "Thank you, God, for everything," at any moment, painful or beautiful, we begin to change our destiny. Complaints weigh us down. Gratitude makes our burden lighter. Starting today, promise yourself, no matter what situation God puts me in, I will always thank Him with all my heart. Sometimes, one tiny change can transform your whole life. Let's all say together, "Thank you, God, for everything."